Have you ever wondered why the Catholic Church opposes contraception, even in difficult situations? The Catholic Church teaches that artificial contraception is intrinsically evil, not because of its consequences, but because it intentionally blocks the natural purpose of marital intimacy and the gift of life. That's a profound statement rooted in scripture, tradition, and reason. In simple terms, contraception is any method that intentionally prevents conception, whether before, during, or after the act. The Church warns that such actions disrupt the unitive and procreative purposes of sex, both essential to God's plan. From natural law to scripture, the Church has always viewed marital love as a total self-giving that includes openness to life. When contraception is used, it separates the unitive and procreative dimensions, contradicting the inner meaning of the conjugal act. Church fathers and theologians affirmed this from early on. Pope St. Paul VI's Humanae Vitae reaffirmed the teaching as rooted in natural law and divine design. In 1968, amid cultural upheaval and the rise of the pill, Pope Paul VI issued Humanae Vitae. He reaffirmed that every conjugal act must remain open to life. Artificial birth control is intrinsically disordered. Couples may utilize natural family planning, NFP, which respects natural fertility. The teaching stands on scripture, tradition, and reason. So why natural family planning is permitted? Natural family planning works by observing a woman's natural fertility cycle and abstaining during fertile days. This method doesn't obstruct God's natural design, it works with it. Humanae Vitae makes clear that using nature's fertility is morally acceptable when there are serious reasons. Pope Paul VI foresaw grave consequences from widespread contraception, decline in moral standards, increased marital infidelity, disrespect toward women, treating them as mere instruments. Today, many argue his predictions seem to be unfolding. Archbishop Chaput highlighted how contraception may contribute to devaluing sexuality and fraying family structures. But is it infallible teaching? Yes, this teaching is considered an infallible moral doctrine. The Church calls it irreformable, meaning it cannot be changed. Any moral exceptions cannot override the Church's authority in this matter. Other documents, like Dignitas Personae, 2008, reaffirm opposition to new contraceptive technologies in the context of modern bioethics. The Catechism teaches that we must always obey the certain judgment of our conscience. But conscience must also be formed by truth. Some Catholics struggle with this teaching, especially in situations of poverty, health risks, or family hardship. The Church acknowledges these struggles, but insists that the objective moral truth remains unchanged. Artificial contraception is intrinsically wrong. Pope St. John Paul II expanded this teaching with his Theology of the Body, a profound meditation on human love and sexuality. He taught that marital intimacy is a mutual gift of self, and contraception distorts that gift by withholding fertility. He reminded us that true love is always life-giving, even if a child is not conceived. Pope Francis has upheld Humanae Vitae, but speaks in a pastoral tone. He emphasizes responsible parenthood, encouraging couples to discern prayerfully and use natural family planning where needed. In Amoris Laetitia, Francis reminds us that responsible parenthood does not mean unlimited procreation, but discerning with generosity, love, and respect for God's design. Looking at the justice dimension, some critics argue that contraception can help reduce poverty or prevent suffering. The Church responds that no evil action can be justified by good intentions. Instead, the Church calls for better education, healthcare access, and support for families, without violating the sacredness of life and marriage. This respects both human dignity and social justice. So what about couples facing grave circumstances, serious illness, economic hardship, or social pressures? The Church does not ignore their pain. Pastors are urged to accompany couples with patience and mercy, helping them grow in faith and trust in God. But at the same time, the Church cannot approve what is intrinsically wrong. Instead, she offers the way of grace, prayer, and natural methods. Looking back, Pope Paul VI's predictions in Humanae Vitae, increased infidelity, objectification of women, and weakening of family life, have proven remarkably accurate. In many ways, the Church's stand is not just moral, but prophetic. At its heart, the teaching on contraception is not a no, but a greater yes, a yes to God's design for love, life, and marriage. It invites couples to trust God's providence, to see children not as burdens, but as blessings. So, in summary, the Church teaches that contraception is always morally wrong. Natural family planning is permitted when there are serious reasons. Conscience must be formed in light of truth. And above all, God's plan for marriage is a plan of love, life, and grace. For more information, see Catechism of the Catholic Church 2370. Contraception is intrinsically evil. If this teaching inspires or challenges you, share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Catholic reflections on faith and life. Type God's plan is perfect in the comments if you believe His wisdom is greater than ours.